field tomorrow. He'll be on this show in a matter of minutes. NFL Total Access starts now. How far have you guys gotten in your Thanksgiving meal prep? Yeah, same here. Welcome into NFL Total Access. I'm MJ Acosta-Ruiz. One more sleep until Thanksgiving Day, and there's a lot for us to set you up for in Week 12. William McGinnis is in studio with me today. James Jones and Kurt Warner will join us too. But let's start with the Thanksgiving Day changes. Ian Rappaport joining me now. Now, Ian, the Ravens and the Steelers game has been moved to Sunday. We know that now amid COVID concerns. What ultimately led up to this change?
Well, first of all, it is now going to be on NBC 1:15 Eastern time, so at the end they get a little bit of a window really just for themselves, kind of as the 4 p.m. games are starting. A nationally televised game, but obviously, as you mentioned, not on Thursday night as originally planned. And this actually began 3 days ago when 7 members of the Ravens, 7 players, along with several staff members, are going on or have been placed on the COVID-19 reserve list. Earlier in the week, it was Mark Ingram and J.K. Dobbins, their standout running back. And today, Matt Skura, Pat McCarry, and then Pro Bowler Calais Campbell. Again, several staff members. And while so many other teams, so many other games have gone on as planned, this is not a situation where the Ravens-Steelers game was postponed because there weren't enough players. This was about the NFL making sure, needing a couple extra days to make sure they know exactly who is and who isn't a COVID-19 high-risk close contact, just to make sure they are as safe as possible. Meanwhile, it seems, MJ, that the Baltimore Ravens have identified one person who helped lead to this spread. A strength and conditioning coach has been disciplined for not reporting symptoms and not always wearing a mask, someone who definitely led to the spread of COVID-19 in their building.
Wow, Ian, and this just underscores the importance of the contact tracing as well. Ian, of course, there was a lot of reaction from the players directly, the Steelers and Ravens players reacting to the news on social media. Juju Smith-Schuster saying, hey, listen, first they take away our bye week because another team couldn't get it together. Now they take away our Thanksgiving primetime game for the same reason. Lots of guys on there. Chase Claypool simply saying, what a joke. And then lastly, Marlon Humphrey saying was going to be was pretty cool to play on Thanksgiving, but you can only control what you can control. Ultimately, life is good. But we still have a doubleheader, guys. Don't forget that. Lots of game action on Thanksgiving Day. Here is your slate of games. First off, Texans at Lions. That's at 12:30 p.m. Eastern on CBS. Then Washington at Cowboys, 4:30 Eastern on Fox. William McGinnis and James Jones. We talked about that last game here, and nearly every game in the NFC East at this point, a battle for the division. The Cowboys are still trying to take that top spot, and realistically, they could do so over Washington if they do what, Willie?
Well, they got to go in and understand that this is not going to be a cakewalk, because when you look at Washington's defense, they have a lot of top 10 categories that they're good at, okay? Whether it's passing, whether it's getting after the quarterback, their rush defense is solid, scoring their top 10. They do a lot of things really, really well. So Dallas can't go in saying, oh, well, just because their record or they haven't won a lot of games, we're going to walk over them. Now, unfortunately, the Washington football team, their offense isn't scoring points. The production's not on that side, so they're struggling offensively. So for Dallas, they got to get out to a fast start. They got to score points. If they make this an ugly, nasty, drag-out game and keep Washington in it, there could be a threat that Washington can beat them.
Willie, listen, I'm on this Cowboys train right now, man. Andy Dalton, the Red Rifle. I'm on this train. I feel like the Cowboys have it going right now, man. The last 2 games, when you watch this defense against Pittsburgh, they made it simple. They just let these guys go out there and fly around and not have to worry about who's getting back to the deep safety from the line of scrimmage and, getting into all these different type of defenses. They are just letting those guys line up and play football. And then you add Andy Dalton to the mix, and Andy Dalton comes out there, and it seems like every receiver on this team, has really, just came out there and was like, hey, man, we got a quarterback now. We're going to go out there and make some plays. And that's what they did.
It's about time, JJ. I'm just saying, it's about time. Like, you got to simplify things.
Then for the Lions, man, listen, I feel like this is a must-win game for Matt Patricia. You go out, you win a tough game against the Redskins. and then you come out and you get shut out by the Panthers with a backup quarterback. This is a must-win game for Matt Patricia, in my opinion, that if he doesn't win, his job is really up in the air because this Detroit Lions team has not took the steps that we all expected them to take, and they're in the same place. So for Matt Patricia, this game right here on Thanksgiving is a must-win. You better have your ball club ready to go. You cannot go out here and lay another egg against the Texans.
Don't say that, AJ. Don't say that, JJ.
Well, here's the thing, and with Matt Patricia, too, you've seen sort of the difference. He's known for defense, and the defense has not been great the last 2 seasons.
Yeah,
so
a lot of changes,
I'm with you, James. I get it. A lot of changes, a lot of stuff, but still, you know the NFL, they don't care. You got to get out there, and you got to play. All right, guys, thanks. And, of course, we've got you covered all day long here on NFL Network on Thanksgiving Day. That starts with Good Morning Football, bright and early, 7 a.m. Eastern, then NFL Game Day morning. 2 different NFL Total Accesses will wrap you up after that Washington Cowboys game.
Bench the worst quarterback in the league right now. It's not that hard to do.
Wentz, he's looking. He's sacked for a safety. He didn't throw it away. You've got to throw that football. The whole world knows that.
This guy has been beyond awful.
Wentz, he pumps, he swings it out, and it's intercepted! It's intercepted!
I don't know what he was doing on that play. That might have been the worst play of the game.
Wentz in the gun, he is floating it, and it is intercepted by the Browns.
We hit the iceberg. We're going down.
Yeah, so 2020 has been rough on Carson Wentz, no doubt. Career lows in just about everything, including win percentage and passer rating. His 14 interceptions in 10 games are already tied for the most in a season in his career. Let's bring in our Hall of Fame quarterback, Kurt Warner. Now, Doug Peterson saying after the game on Sunday, listen, there's no doubt Carson Wentz is our starter. Doesn't seem to be wavering from that, Kurt.
He doesn't, MJ. And, you know, there's one side of that I love. I love when a coach says, hey, he's our guy. We are going to sink or swim with Carson Wentz because he's the guy that we're built around and he's the guy that we believe in. I love that approach. But I also love the approach that Brian Flores took last week with Tua, where he went in and said, hey, we don't have a spark. We're not playing our A game. Maybe Tua's not playing his best game. It's okay to pull your quarterback out, put in the backup, try to get a spark through the course of a game, and then you say, as soon as the game's over, but Tua is our guy, or Carson is our guy. We are committed to him, but sometimes quarterbacks, just like other positions, don't bring their A game. And for some reason, we have gotten afraid to take a quarterback out because how it might look or how it might affect the quarterback, where every other position, if somebody wasn't playing well, we put somebody else in. So I liked what Brian Flores did, and I think you can learn from that and say, hey, if there's a game where Carson's not playing great, we can go ahead and put in Jalen Hurts. But that does not mean we have to have a controversy. We can go right back to Carson and say, you're our guy next week and moving forward. But I'm not going to be afraid to do what's best for the team in the moment or in game. So I can like both approaches, but I think more coaches need to do what Brian Flores did and be okay with pulling their quarterback when they're not playing good football.
Yes, Kurt, let them know. 2 things can be true at the same time. We can support your starting QB and still give a little tough love. All right, Kurt, hang around because I want to see you in a little bit for your top 3 QB storylines of Week 12. All right, let's get you to the latest headlines. Christian McCaffrey was back on the practice field on Wednesday. The Panthers running back practiced in a non-contact red jersey, but Coach Matt Rule says he is not expected to play Sunday versus the Vikings. McCaffrey did not practice last week and missed his 2nd straight game due to a shoulder injury. The Chargers plan to designate running back Austin Eckler to return from injured reserve. Eckler's status for Sunday against Buffalo is uncertain, but Coach Lynn said he practiced for the first time since suffering a hamstring injury that kept him out since week 4. Here's a look at other notable injuries to watch for week 12. CMC's QB, Teddy Bridgewater, was a full participant in practice today. Phillip Rivers sat out today after sustaining a toe injury in week 11. Sam Darnold was limited in practice. In Arizona, Kyler Murray was limited with a shoulder, while his top target, DeAndre Hopkins, missed practice altogether with an illness. Coming up next, it's time to take a closer look at the game of the week. Because at first glance, the Chiefs and the Bucs is a tale of 2 quarterbacks.
I got a lot of vitamin D lately.
The GOAT and the Kid, half a dozen titles and $500 million.
Take it personal, baby. Let's go.
If we only looked at last week, we'd say one's closing in on a repeat and the other's closing in on retirement. But we don't look back, we look ahead, where anything can happen and anything just might. That's next. Plus, Kurt Warner's looking ahead to Sunday storylines you better not miss, and Adrian Peterson's looking ahead to a Thanksgiving Day parade of Lions and Texans. NFL Total Access.
The Raiders. Why not? Mahomes to Kelsey. Snap to Brady. Throws toward the end zone. Up ball, Mike Evans. Cut back left run. It goes to Edwards-Helaire. CEH with TD1.
Go out to the end zone. Gronkowski with a touchdown. And that New England combination now in Buccaneer pewter and red.
Near side, Tyreek Hill catches the ball at the 5. Touchdown, Kansas City. Patrick Mahomes is carrying him off the field.
Yes, that is our Total Access Game of the Week. Here's Jeff Chadia with more on Chiefs and Bucs.
Here in Kansas City, the big question about the Chiefs these days is just what's wrong with their defense. They've given up at least 30 points in each of their last 2 games. Even though those games have been wins, it's been a point of concern for this team as they head into this week's game against the Buccaneers. We're talking about a lot of problems here, whether it's lack of pass rush, big plays being given up in the passing game, and a defense that still struggles to stop the run. Now, head coach Andy Reid was asked about this after the Chiefs beat the Raiders on Sunday Night Football, and he said, look, you're going to have these kind of games. You're going to have games where teams are going up and down the field, where it's hard to stop your opponent. Teams have good offenses in this league. Well, the Chiefs are about to see another good offense with the Buccaneers. They know Tom Brady gives them problems. They know that Antonio Brown, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Rob Gronkowski, Leonard Fournette, all these guys can make plays. So the Chiefs have to prove they can deal with a good offense with a defense that's been struggling.
All right, I hear you, Jeff, but hear us out for just 1 second. Since week 9, Tom Brady on the season is still fairly good. It's just that Patrick Mahomes has been playing well, like Patrick Mahomes. 71.1 completion percentage to Brady's 60.8, and Mahomes has 360 yards per game to Brady's 255. All right. Willie, I don't know if you caught this yesterday, but James, you and the guys got into a heated debate about Tom Brady yesterday. But let's go ahead and focus in on the matchup itself.
James was hating again, probably.
Listen, it was live. What do you see in this one, James?
Well, I'm going to keep it real again, MJ and Willie. You have to take the ball out of Tom Brady's hands if you want to have success. When the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have been at their best, it is running the football with their 2 running backs. That is Jones and Fournette. Do not let Tom Brady go out here and try to throw this ball 50 times all over the yard. This is the formula, and this is the formula that the Kansas City Chiefs have not been able to stop. I mean, we've seen the Raiders. The Raiders have given teams the blueprint on how to attack this defense. You run the ball down their throat. When they want to stack the box, you play action pass, and you make it easy on the quarterback, and that's why Derek Carr was able to have a lot of success. I feel like this is a very bad matchup for the Kansas City Chiefs defense. As bad as Tom Brady played last week, this matchup right here for the Kansas City Chiefs defense is very bad. There's so many playmakers on that Tampa Bay offense, but if they can get to this and they can run the ball, we know they can run the ball, Willie, it is going to be tough for the Kansas City Chiefs to go out here and handle the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
JJ, I don't know how long you've been watching Tom Brady play, but it's always game specific. So if you can't stop the run, you're going to get a heavy dose of the run. If you can't stop the pass, you're going to get a lot of the pass. Now, the Chiefs offense is number 1 in scoring in the league. But guess what? Their defense is right behind them, giving up 31 points in the last couple of weeks. So if they're struggling in the run game, you're going to see the run game. If you're struggling in the passing game, which they are as well, you're going to see both. There's opportunities. The Raiders only punted twice in that football game, and on 3rd down, they were over 60%. So when you look at what the Raiders did and what's been going on the last couple of weeks with the Chiefs defense, they've struggled at every single level. Now, the Bucs, they need to get it together in the passing game. I agree with you 100%. But you will never tell me to take the ball out of Tom Brady's hands, the best to ever do it. You will never convince me of that. They've had their struggles. They're not in sync. I know their pass rush has been getting to them. The ball's coming out early. Sometimes it's late. But once they get on the same page and in sync as a receiver, you know this. When you get on the same page with your quarterback, you're never going to tell the quarterback not to throw to you, JJ. They will get it together. And this is the week to do it against a struggling defense. So understand that. I agree. Run the football. Run it heavy. But also, you got so many weapons on the outside. Take advantage of a struggling secondary and make some plays down the field because that defense is giving up a lot of points.
I wish this was a podcast, Willie. We need more time.
I was going to say, I wish you guys could have seen JJ's face when he said, "Don't throw to me." Never. How dare you?
Exactly.
I still think, guys, this could potentially be one of those games that comes down to the supporting cast, right? I know we focus on Mahomes. I know we focus on Brady. But in a matchup like this, everybody's got to work and be perfect on there. All right, guys, thank you. All of you at home, though, I want you to have a say in this year's Pro Bowl vote presented by Verizon. The Pro Bowl may look a little different this year, of course, but the best players will still be recognized. Show your love, cast your vote, and make sure your favorite players still earn their place on the 2021 Pro Bowl roster. Vote today at NFL.com/Pro Bowl vote. Still to come this week on NFL Total Access, we are your Thanksgiving Thursday headquarters. 2 NFL games, 2 NFL Total Access show. First show after the Lions and Texans play at 3:30 Eastern. Second show after Washington and Dallas at 7:30 Eastern. We'll make a day of it, I promise you. Then Friday, in addition to picks and predictions for every single game, we have a special guest. It's Colts rookie running back Jonathan Taylor. He's talking Sunday's AFC South Clash of the Titans. But coming up next on this show, Kurt Warner's guide to Week 12. 5 quarterbacks, 3 storylines, only one place to get them. That's next. But first, an early holiday gift from our friends at Inside the NFL.
Titans on 3, 1, 2, 3. Titan players came out and they stood on the Ravens shield logo and they got a little heated.
Disrespectful. Go home. It's disrespectful.
Practice safety, kids. Mask up.
What a good day for football, huh?
It's a heavyweight fight tonight.
Y'all set the tone. Y'all set it.
Maniac. Boy, you acting like a... Boy? I don't know, fool.
Go get that piece of the box. Me!
Mindset we talking about? This is when you show it right now.
First going class of the situation. 87. You guys know it.
Who do you want to handle every other way?
Kelsey wide open. Touchdown!
Crown him. Crown him. That's him, folks. Yeah.
We fly around, we make plays, and we dominate all night long.
All night.
Playmakers on 3, 1, 2, 3.
Whoop their ass on 3. 1, 2, 3. Whoop their ass.
Hey, them first 2 drives were fluke. They're going to play hard now, so let's go. All right, come on.
Take it personal, baby. Let's go.
Brown makes the catch at the 10, spinning, driving his way into the end zone.
Wow!
How did he do it?
On the point and touchdown. Perfect job.
Great possession, man. Let's go.
Aguilar's got it. Touchdown.
Steps up into the pocket. He throws it late for the end zone. Kelsey wide open. Touchdown. Kansas City.
Hey, way to play.
Way to finish.
Ooh, now that was a QB battle. Let's bring in our man with the gold jacket swag, our Hall of Famer, Kurt Warner, for his top 3 quarterback storylines of Week 12. And Kurt, this week in particular, I'm so ready for you to peel back these layers.
Well, MJ, you know these storylines are for Sunday, so I'm going to give you a little bonus because now we know that the Steelers-Ravens were moved to Sunday. So I'm excited to see Lamar Jackson against that Steelers defense round 2. But to get into my 3 that were slated for Sunday, I'm going to start with Colts and Titans. Rivers and Tannehill. Is that we remember just a couple weeks ago, these guys went head-to-head, and it was really all Colts in that one. Although the Titans had been hot, the Colts cooled them off and played some great football. Phillip Rivers was in full control of that game. But now both coming off huge wins, Colts against the Packers and Titans against the Ravens. This is a huge game within that division, so can't wait to watch that one. Number 2, Aaron Rodgers. We just talked about how the Colts beat Aaron Rodgers and the Packers this past weekend, and that offense of the Packers struggled against that great Colts defense in the second half. Well, now what do they get this weekend? They get that great Bears defense. And we know that Aaron Rodgers had a lot of success against the Bears in terms of wins and losses, but it's still always a struggle against that Bears defense. So I want to see how Aaron Rodgers and this Packers offense respond to that bad second half last week. And then, of course, the entree. Everybody knows this. It's going to be Mahomes and Brady. And, you know, I mean, it always is great when these 2 guys get together. Now, the Chiefs, their offense is clicking on all cylinders. Patrick Mahomes is playing some great football, as we saw last week against the Ravens, bringing his team back late. On the other side, this is not the same old Tom Brady and New England and the offense that he's comfortable with. They're sputtering a little bit, and we saw that as much on Monday night where they just don't seem to be clicking. But these seem to be the games where Tom Brady steps up, and he quiets all the doubters. So cannot wait to watch these great players go head-to-head this weekend. That is definitely the entree for the Sunday storylines.
Oh, we're ready to get every single serving of this. And I'm so glad you mentioned Aaron Rodgers and the Packers because I'm still shook about how the end of that game played out. All right, Kurt, here's the great news in this. We get a double dose of Game Day Morning. You can watch Kurt and the entire Game Day Morning crew on Thursday and then on Sunday, of course, right here on the NFL Network. Catching you up on the news of the day, the NFL has moved the Baltimore Ravens and Pittsburgh Steelers game from Thanksgiving night to Sunday at 1:15 p.m. Eastern on NBC. This comes as the Ravens deal with multiple positive COVID tests this week. The Steelers have also announced they will not have fans at the game on Sunday. For more on this matchup, we head over to Pittsburgh and Aditi Inkamwala.
The COVID shuffle once again came the Steelers' way, and this is not a particularly happy organization. When it was decided that the full spread of the Ravens outbreak had not yet been ascertained and that Thursday night's primetime Thanksgiving matchup needed to be pushed to Sunday, it became the second time this season that the Steelers had a game postponed the week of, as they were in the midst of preparations. Now, the first time around with the Titans, it meant that the Steelers lost their bye week. And so Mike Tomlin had promised his players that after Thursday's game against the Ravens, they would have 5 full days off and that this would serve as their bye. Now, that's not an option anymore. And the Steelers were vocal in voicing their displeasure on Twitter and personally in text messages to me. The plan going forward now is for the Steelers to get Thanksgiving Day off, to return to the facility Friday and Saturday. But they do know that it is always a possibility that the league could still postpone the game further. Until then, this is a rivalry that just got a little extra heat to it.
As for the 2 games that will still be played on Thanksgiving Day, here they are. Texans at Lions. That starts at 12:30 p.m. Eastern on CBS, followed by Washington at Dallas, 4:30 p.m. Eastern on Fox. And for more on the Cowboys, here's Jane Slater.
I don't know about those of you at home, but I've been known to indulge just a little bit on Thanksgiving. So is Cowboys running back Ezekiel Elliott, who in his 3 Turkey Day games has averaged close to 100 yards rushing. Significant when you consider he finally got his 100-yard game against the Vikings on the road, after he said he couldn't even remember the last time this team had a win. I'll help you out. You have to go back to October 11th against the Giants when this team lost their quarterback, Dak Prescott. Now, Andy Dalton seemed to have settled a little bit better in as a result of some moves on the offensive line, moving that all-pro offensive guard, Zach Martin, over to right tackle. So that helped. Andy Dalton was also able to go ahead and get that ball out a little bit quicker. In fact, when you look at his week 6 and 7 performance versus that week 11 one, well, his passer rating jumped close to 46 points. We also saw this team put up 20-plus points for the first time this season since they lost Dak Prescott. Now, the NFC East then is right in front of them, but so is that Washington football team defensive line. They have 32 sacks on the season.
All right, you need a travel pic to make it real. J.J. Watt posting this picture, getting on the plane, simply posting Detroit, Michigan. All right. Let's welcome in our friends. Willie, look at this. We got full use of the stage today. Joining us now to make their picks for Thanksgiving Day game is our Game Day View crew. Andrew Hawkins, Cynthia Freeland, and Greg Rosenthal. You guys.
What's up, guys?
I mean, I know you have your stretchy pants ready for tomorrow, right?
Oh, yeah. Come on. I miss you, MJ. It's been too long.
I know. I miss all of you guys so much. Hawk, I want to start with you here because the Texans are road favorites by 3 in Detroit. Ooh. Who do you have winning this one? Oh, no, Hawk, you on mute.
Oh, no. I can't. You can't.
There we go.
Technology. I don't. All right, we're back. So I'm going with the Texans now that we fixed the technology problems. You look at this Lions defense and what they let P.J. Walker, our favorite XFL alum, do to them, throwing for 260 yards, almost 71 completion percentage. And then you think, well, what is Deshaun Watson going to do? A guy that if this team had more wins, he would be in the lead for MVP voting. That's just my opinion.
All right, so I have a 1-point win for the Texans, so a very close margin. The Lions are missing a whole bunch of pieces. But one area that they're really, really consistent is allowing rushing yards. So they're allowing quarterbacks to rush against them. They're allowing running backs to rush against them. So for me, the ability to run the football consistently, and oh, by the way, Deshaun Watson be able to pass it all over to whomever he wants. Will Fuller, put him in your lineups for sure. That one for me makes the big difference in a 1-point win.
Ooh. This is never a good sign when we all agree on a game. I have the Texans by a touchdown. Like, I'm happy for you, Cynthia, that you don't have to live with picking the Lions, because I know that's your team and that hurts your heart when the model does that. I'm glad our viewers on TA got to see us having some technical problems, because that usually it's Cynthia, but it's like it's one of us, so you're getting the full game debut experience. And I know we're going to love Deshaun Watson on Turkey Day. It shows that QB wins is not a QB stat, because he has the same amount of wins as Mitchell Trubisky this year, but he is a top 5 quarterback playing the best he's ever played, better than Josh Allen, better than Kyler Murray, and everyone's going to see it on Thursday.
Willie, look, they have pick issues just like we do, my friend.
They do.
I love it.
They're all on the same page.
We all feel what's happening here. All right, to Dallas, where the Cowboys host Washington. Now, Dallas is favored by 3. Greg, who do you have winning here?
I like Antonio Gibson and the Washington football team to take this game. I think it's Gibson's breakout game. People haven't seen him because they're usually on the Fox 4th or 5th broadcast team. But, man, he has a lot of power. They're running their offense well. Scott Turner's doing a good job. And Alex Smith, not just a good story. He's playing good quarterback. I think they get the upset win.
I love Washington's defense in this one, but I think Andy Dalton has a little bit of left in the tank in terms of those quick passes. We saw the emergence of the quick pass last week, and that will be the key to stay away from their pressure front this time. A 1-point win for the Dallas Cowboys. 2 great games on Turkey Day.
I love it. In my household, we are an Andy Dalton household. We are unshy about that. We don't care. We like our quarterback's hair the same color as our sweet potato pie. I'm going with the Cowboys. Last time this game went about as bad as it could go for Andy Dalton. It's time for redemption. Cowboys get the W.
Did somebody play with the Bengals?
I mean, he's repping the orange.
I'm just wondering, did somebody play with the Bengals?
I love it. You know what? I'm not mad at it, Tom. You go ahead and wrap it up. Willie, I want to get to you, to the game that was supposed to be played as the finale. Now on Sunday, that Ravens-Steelers game. Let's hear it.
All right, I'm going to take the Pittsburgh Steelers, okay? And they're undefeated, and they're playing great. And they're going against the Baltimore Ravens, who has been struggling offensively. If you look at all the numbers and what they've been doing offensively, minus the tight ends, minus the rushing game, minus the passing game, they have regressed in a lot of different areas. Now, I will say this, that Pittsburgh Steelers, when you look at how great their defense is, and a lot of people are talking about it, they're playing at a high level on every single level. From the front 7 to the linebackers to the back end. They're getting takeaways, they're stopping the run, they're getting after quarterback, all those different things. But when you look at the opponents they played and how they rank offensively, only one team ranks in the top 10 on offense, and that was Tennessee.
Okay.
So they got to play against some better opponents to win me all the way over. But right now, they're the #1 defense.
I mean, you guys, Hawk, Cynthia, and Greg, can you not be strangers? Can you come through a little bit more often? I love having you guys here, and Willie does too. By the way, that's just a taste of game debut. You'll get all of their picks, including that Ravens and Steelers game, plus point totals. That is Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, and they come on immediately after NFL Total Access. Thank you, guys. Oh, I love seeing the squad. All right, right now, let's talk about Adrian Peterson, who got the nickname All Day as a kid because he had so much energy he could run all day. This man is destined for.
Adrian Peterson, the deep back. Stafford turns, gives to Peterson, right side, fighting it into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit Lions.
I said and I'll say it again. You love backs that hit the hole as hard as Adrian Peterson.
Adrian Peterson fighting through tacklers, finding the end zone. The Lions are on the board first.
Woo, that's why we call it a hype video. Let's welcome in Detroit Lions running back Adrian Peterson. Adrian, thanks for joining us, and happy Thanksgiving, by the way.
Likewise, happy Thanksgiving to you as well.
Thank you. Okay, so let's get right into this because we have a big matchup this week, of course, the Lions and the Texans. This is the opening act of our Turkey Day tradition in football. Why is playing on Thanksgiving Day important to you?
You know, it's one of those games where the world is watching. You know, your family is watching. It's available no matter where they are, you know, across the United States. They can sit there and watch you play this game, you know, and, especially being a part of the Detroit Lions and their tradition of playing this game, that makes it special as well. So, it's a day where you got family gathered around, having a good time, eating amazing food, and just enjoying that family time with each other. And, what better to do than watch America's game?
You know what I love about it this year, too, Adrian, is that with a lot of people staying physically distant, the game still brings them together that day. They still feel like they're together, even if they're not in the same household. And of course, you guys will be a huge part of that. Now, you mentioned Detroit, and you're providing 100,000 meals to families for Thanksgiving this year. Yeah. I mean, wow. Can you tell me a little bit about who you're working with, your organization as well, and why this is so huge for you in the Detroit community?
The A&A Peterson Foundation, we are partnered with Athletes Corner, and we created this campaign. It's the all-day holiday meals. And so what has been happening previously is for every touchdown that we score offensively, we donate 1,000 meals. And for every touchdown that I score is 2,000 meals. So we have actually came together, and we will be donating 100,000 meals on Thanksgiving. And we will be donating to the local food bank here in Detroit. They're called Gleaners Community Food Bank, and with the help of Feeding America. So, this is something that we have always been passionate about, especially during the times that we're in right now. This here in Detroit, personally, 1 in 7, people have food insecurity, and the same numbers with kids that did naturally, the numbers is 1 to 4. So being able to be in a position and partnering with such a great organization like the Athletes Corner to be able to provide for families during Thanksgiving, it makes it worth their while. So, I'm so excited to have this platform and to be able to, share and spread the love.
Obviously don't need any more incentive to go out there and score and play well, but knowing that every time you hit a touchdown, it's literally changing and touching lives. Adrian Peterson, thank you so much for joining us. Happy Thanksgiving and good luck for the rest of the season, my friend.
Thank you so much. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
It's all about giving back for Adrian Peterson, and the entire NFL family has his back. Nearly 3 decades before the league was founded, the Salvation Army began its Red Kettle campaign, which helps nearly 5 million people during the holiday season, something Cowboys owner Jerry Jones is happy to be part of.
To be able to take the Thanksgiving Day game and feature the Salvation Army in front of millions of people, to me, it's always been a great way for us to give back, for sports to give back. You've got all those people, normally wouldn't be sitting there, many of them, talking about what the 3 million volunteers and what the Salvation Army means to a lot of people in this country. So it's a great way to use the best of the NFL.
And the Cowboys will have a special tribute before tomorrow's game to recognize and remember Marcus Paul. The team's strength and conditioning coach died this evening. He was 54 years old. Jerry Jones called Marcus Paul a calming influence and a valued member of the family. Along with the Cowboys, Paul spent 14 years in the league with the Giants, Jets, Patriots, and the Saints.
Just tell me about the emotions of running back onto the field and playing the first time.
There were probably only 200 fans in the stands. It was pouring rain. I ran over to grab my helmet, and next thing I know, I'm calling a play.
Some pressure, and there's the first time Alex Smith is hit as he's taken down and sacked.
Crazy to have that first hit, and Aaron Donald jumping on your back. But obviously, it felt amazing too. That first hit, you've had in a long time. It always felt nice to know, for me in 2 years, that I was okay.
Time now to get to our Hall of Fans presented by Ford. Now, in year 3, the mission of the Ford Hall of Fans is to recognize pro football's biggest fans by honoring them with their rightful place in the Pro Football Hall of Fame, right next to the great players they support. If you think you are Hall worthy, enter for your chance to be part of the Ford Hall of Fans. You could win a trip to the Super Bowl, to the 2021 Pro Football Hall of Fame enshrinement, and a 2021 Ford F-150. Okay, visit FordHallOfFans.com to learn more. Willie and James Jones, I mean, this has been a crazy, crazy year, but I want to know what you guys are most thankful for this season. James?
Oh, man, I'll go first. What I'm most thankful for, listen, we know it's a quarterback-driven league, right? We protect our quarterbacks. We make sure our quarterbacks are good. I am truly thankful for all of the rookie quarterbacks. This league is in great hands, man. You talking about the Herberts. You talking about the JoJo Burrows. You talking about the Tuas. I mean, these guys are letting us know that our game is in very good hands. They are coming out here lighting it up, playing at a very high level. I mean, you can argue about all these guys really being Pro Bowl players. I am thankful for these rookie quarterbacks coming into the league and balling the way they are balling.
A receiver saying
like
he's
it.
loving the quarterbacks, the guys who feed them. Way to show that appreciation, JJ. For me, it's definitely health, first and foremost. But how about having a season? Okay, folks, we're in season 12. All the moving parts that came to place, the NFL, the NFLPA, all the things, the protocols that the players and everybody had to go through, the players being accountable, being responsible, doing everything in your power to have a safe season. Like, this is football season. Everybody's excited, and we're watching great football.
Yeah.
We're watching great football, and it's week 12. I'm glad
real.
we have a season. We wouldn't be here if we didn't have a season.
Quite literally, we wouldn't be here,
Right.
Willie. And to that end, that is what I am thankful for. Not just this medium, this show, but also every single person you at home don't see on the screen. Our entire crew back here, I'm talking to all of you guys.
Yes.
Everyone in the booth, the production staff, hair and makeup, wardrobe. I mean, the list goes on and on.
Yes.
It is a lengthy list. It takes a village. I'm so grateful for everyone who comes out here, either in studio or remotely. Speaking of remotely, you see my coworker right here. I'm thankful for my coworkers. And James Jones had a great moment for himself today. Look at that. Our boy was inducted into the San Jose State Hall of Fame. Woo!
I see you, JJ.
Hey, y'all can't do that to me, man. I can't be choked up on TV, man. I appreciate it, though, man. It's
JJ.
humbling, man. I appreciate it.
We are so proud of you, JJ. We're going to take this moment in a little bit because we're also thankful for another epic game of the week to look forward to this week. So while we chop it up with JJ, here's Chiefs Bucs preview with PFF's George Chahuri.
It's the GOAT against the unicorn. Tom Brady has all the rings, but Patrick Mahomes, he's the king of the NFL right now, and he's got the most recent Super Bowl ring to prove it. Meanwhile, Tom Brady and the Bucs can't seem to find the right beat, struggling to find any sort of consistency in a loss to the Rams on Monday night. Brady started the season hot with the third best PFF grade over his first 8 games, but the last 3 weeks have been sort of a disaster. He has the 6th lowest grade among all quarterbacks, and that is with Antonio Brown adding to his bevy of weapons. Brady is making mistakes throwing the ball down the football field, with 6 passes graded as turnover worthy on throws 10+ yards over those last 3 weeks. That's compared to just 2 in the entire first half of the season. You don't need a math degree to know that is not very good. The good news for Brady and company is that they should be getting stud interior lineman Ali Marpet back. Marpet has missed those last 3 games after earning the highest grade among all left guards over the first half of the season. A stronger offensive line might help the Bucs attack through the air more effectively on early downs, or at least run the ball better, since that is what they like to do despite having Tom Brady and that deadly aerial passing attack. The Bucs are throwing the ball on first down just 49% of the time, the 9th lowest rate in the NFL. And they're going to need to exercise all of their options to try and keep up with Patrick Mahomes. Mahomes is the 2nd highest graded QB since week 5 and just calmly disposed of the Raiders despite Derek Carr's career high 96.0 PFF grade. The Bucs love to bring the blitz, which could be an issue, seeing as Mahomes has a 140 passer rating when teams blitz him this season. Expect the Chiefs to attack the weak Bucs interior coverage. Linebacker Devin White and slot corner Sean Murphy-Bunting have combined to allow 100 catches on 117 targets for over 1,000 yards and 7 touchdowns so far this season. And Patrick Mahomes will not make that any easier. It's looking like a shootout in Tampa. Whoever gets this W will put themselves on track to make a return visit in February for a potential rematch.
So you guys know we pick all the games each week on Total Access. And of course, I post them on Twitter and Instagram. If it's not on social, then it didn't happen. You can find me at MJ Acosta TV. Make sure to follow for picks and access to some of all the shenanigans we get into here behind the scenes. All right, this is what we've been told about tomorrow. The Texans are supposed to beat the Lions, and the Cowboys are supposed to beat Washington. Not so fast. Coming up next, picks and prediction, not based on what's supposed to happen, based on what will. We'll be back.
NFL Total Access is brought to you by Lexus. Experience amazing.
Seahawks, and I just want to wish you guys a happy Thanksgiving.
Hi, it's Julian Edelman from the New England Patriots, and I want to wish you and your families a wonderful, safe, happy Thanksgiving.
Hi, this is Mark Andrews of the Baltimore Ravens. I just want to wish you and your family a happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you, guys. And, of course, we've got you covered all day long here. I love that little turkey noise at NFL Network. We start with Good Morning Football, 7 a.m., followed by NFL Game Day Morning at 10. And then you got your 2 scoops of Total Access for dessert all throughout the day, 3:30 Eastern and 8 p.m. Eastern as well. All right, we want to set you up for success as well on fantasy. So here are Marcus Grant's starts and sits for Thanksgiving Day. He says in that first game, Texans at Lions, you're going to start Deshaun Watson and Marvin Jones. You're going to sit T.J. Hawkinson and Jordan Atkins. Second game, Washington at Cowboys. Start Alex Smith and the Washington defense. Sit Andy Dalton. Ooh, and CeeDee Lamb.
Wow.
Interesting. Oh, all right.
CeeDee Lamb?
I know. I'm a little confused. All right, Willie and JJ, we got to pick these Thanksgiving games, right? James Jones. Let's start with Texans-Lions. Who you got?
You know what? I was going to take the Texans and Deshaun Watson, but I believe that this Detroit Lions team is going to fight for their coach because they know he is on that hot seat. So I am taking the Lions in this one at home, 27-24 Lions. Fight for Matt Patricia.
Man, JJ, stop saying my guy is on the hot seat. You're killing me. And look, both of these guys were my defensive coordinators, Romeo Crennel and, Matt Patricia. But I got to take Romeo Crennel. I got to take the teacher. I think that they just have too much, especially the way they're playing offensively for the Lions. And even if the Lions lose, okay, it's going to be 30-17. Even if they lose, Matt Patricia's not going anywhere.
I don't know why I was under the impression that James was picking the Texans. I was trying to give you a gift and not go against you, but I'm also taking the Texans 27-21. I wasn't trying to give him a hard time today. He had a big day. All right, Washington at Dallas. James, who you got?
I'm a believer in the red rifle, Andy Dalton. I called the upset last week against the Vikings. They're going to keep it rolling. This defense is simple. They are flying around, letting their playmakers make plays. I like the Cowboys big in this one, 42-27.
Wow, I'm going to get the Cowboys as well, JJ. And I'm going to go